Hello everyone, I am Dead Knight. This is In It to Win It. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get updates on my channel. We have the full set of United and Stormwind out, and today we're going to be talking about my best, worst, and interesting picks for the Druid class. So, lot of different types of cards here. Overall, support for just about every Druid archetype, and what is going to be the best is going to just be a free-for-all about which Druid archetype is going to be the dominant one. So there's cards like composting that are just super strong in one archetype, but are not good in everything. So what I think the best card is going to be for Druid is Oracle of Elune. This guy is a 2/4 for 3. It is just a really versatile card. What it does is whenever you play a minion that costs 2 or less, you summon a copy of it. So the reason why I'm picking this as the best, not just because of the potential wild combo implications, but I'm really just talking about standard here. This opens the door for some Druid archetypes that involve minions, which Druid hasn't had at all in this year so far. So with this guy, and in addition to the fact that you've got Innervate and Lightning Bloom to play this guy early and get something going, if you have the Razormane Battle Guard and play this guy out with Oracle of Elune, you get free taunts that cost 4 or less on the first one you play. You could have just some really bonkers early game turns that completely run away with this game. You can imagine doing something like playing this guy, the Razormane Battle Guard, and then a Greybow, or the Death Rattle Kodo guy that gives you 5 armor. Some turns like this that early in the game with a Lightning Bloom, pretty much unrecoverable. So you've got the possibility of doing something like that early game, but also you can throw this in other decks like Celestial Alignment, where all your cards cost 1, and now you're doubling out all kinds of minions. This also is going to work with a Corrupted Strongman, which is going to cost 0 at its base. So you play this guy, then you play a Strongman and summons a copy of it. That's a huge play, especially if you have the E-Charge in your deck. Now instead of getting 2 6/6s when you play E-Charge, you're going to get 4, and they all have taunt. So we're talking about some pretty serious plays early game and late game, and it also allows you for some good mid-range potential plays. Playing this guy, and then a couple of your early game minions that you drew late, and you get a huge board pretty quick. So it opens up some possibilities. It's good in most of the archetypes that are out right now, and it's got a 2/4 stat line. So at 3 mana, that's not super great. It's a little understated, but at least with 4 health, there's going to be some intention from your opponent to remove it. So a really great card, opens up a lot for a lot of Druid archetypes. What I think the worst card in this set is, this might be a little surprise pick here. I'm actually going with Vibrant Squirrel. So at a 2/1 for 1, this Death Rattles to put 4 acorns in your deck that each summon a 2/1 when they come out. So why do I think this is not good? It seems like it would be good. Free minions is great, especially in a deck that you're trying to always flood the board with minions. The problem is Druids, they have decent card draw with Fungal Fortunes, but if you're playing a deck where you're flooding, you're not going to be running Fungal Fortunes, even though it would pop these out. So you got to worry, you got to cross between minions and card draw. You got to get through the deck to get to those acorns. At a 2/1, it's easily removable. It doesn't actually provide as much tempo as you think, because you got to dig those acorns. You don't get to decide when those pop out. So you could be planning big board swing turns where you're going to put larger, better, more buffed minions on the board, and you end up getting acorns instead. And if you compare this to something like Acorn Bearer, where you get 2 squirrels into your hand, I think that is better than getting 4 in the deck. Quite literally, the expression, cards in hand better than cards in deck, bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. So you got a lot of that going on with this guy. you might never see those cards, and at a 2/1 for 1, that's pretty understated. It doesn't help you repopulate your board as fast as you think. So I don't see this card really getting any action, even if there was a Flood Archetype. As far as the most interesting card, it is definitely going to be the new legendary Sheldras Moontree. So this guy is a 5/5 for 8 that battle cries your next 3 spells into being cast when drawn. So reading some card reviews, on some sites, people are maligning this guy and saying, you play this guy on turn 8 and then just lose because it has no immediate effect. That is, I think, completely wrong. So yeah, if you play this guy and don't draw anything afterward, you got a problem. But if you have, say, a Lorekeeper Polkelt, so you've stacked all of your high cost cards to the top of your deck, and then you play this guy and then you draw only 1 card, because when they cast when drawn, they'll draw the next card. So you are going to get to play something to the effect of, a free survival of the fittest, free Cenarian wards, free in wild, you're talking about ultimate infestations and overflows where you're drawing tons of cards. So this guy has really interesting combo potential. All you have to do is play this guy and draw 1 other card. You can death rattle a Loot Hoarder after you play it and draw and auto cast 3 Haymaker spells. So if you play this right with Lorekeeper Polkelt, or if you play this guy and then you Malagos on your next turn, if you can do that, it's huge. The other thing you can do is, if you stack it right, you can do this guy into something like 2 Scenario wards and a Celestial Alignment if you have Polkelt. So now you've got this 5/5 on the board, plus 2 random 8/8s while your opponent gets all their mana crystals destroyed. I mean, what the heck? That is just bananas. And if you run Survival of the Fittest, you can play Lorekeeper Polkelt, you draw your Survival of the Fittest, and then you play Sheldras Moontree, spend 1 mana to draw a card with, tradable, for example, and then, draw a Cenarian Ward, Celestial Alignment. And then next turn, you play Survival of the Fittest and kill them. I mean, crazy combo potential with this guy. Really overlooked. You can really time this right to just blow people up. But the things that people are saying, like that by itself it does nothing when it hits the table and it costs 8 mana, I mean, that is a serious concern, but good deck builders can get around that. I think the ceiling on this is limitless. So do you agree, disagree? What do you think of Druid cards? I left some cards out, but when you only get to pick 1 card for the best, you got to make some gutsy calls sometime. But please leave some respectful comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and tune in next time.